Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to this episode of Astros Baseball. It's been a while, but we're going to talk about a series loss today. But overall, a very good 7-3 homestand, which is awesome because the Astros have always been uh, historically bad at home. So you got to like that. And here to talk about it, my good boy,
Yeah.
my good pal, Wally. What's up, Wally?
Hey, how are you? It was a good homestand. It hit the mark that we thought about. It needed to be 7-3 to be considered successful. It could have been 8-2. It could have been 9-1.
Oh, yeah.
Um, they're making progress. Now we need to take it on the road, and they're playing teams that they should be competitive against.
So the thing about it is we were kind of saying like, okay, they should sweep Oakland and maybe go 1-2 against Milwaukee and then either sweep or go 2-1. It was kind of like they still kind of did what we expected. It's just we didn't see the Angels beating them in a series, but we will definitely get to that because that's what we're here to talk about. Let's talk about game one, Framber Valdez. Wow. What
Woof,
about that? All
woof.
right. Oh my God. And we talked about it, dude. This guy, I don't know. They need to go out and slow him down because he can't slow himself down. But I don't know. I'm looking forward to hearing your opinion on this fifth inning. Top of the first, Ward had a sac fly. We're down 1-0. Yiner Diaz, RBI single brings in Pena. We tie it up. And then Altuve, a 3-run bomb, his ninth home run of the year. The Astros are cruising 4-1. Bottom of the fourth, Dubon had a 2-run homer. At this point, we're in total control, 6-1. This is when I'm at break. I'm at work, sitting at break, and I'm like, oh, yeah, we're going to win another one. It's 6-1. And then when I go back at lunchtime, I'm like, what happened? So here we go. If you didn't see it, folks, and I'm going to let Wally talk about it all he wants here. Top of the fifth, a 3-run bomb, and a solo home run, all on Framber Valdez. And all of a sudden, we're down 8-6. In the top of the fifth, and I want to know if you think they should have taken him out or what was going on because I didn't get to see it. Single, walk, strikeout, 3-run homer, ground out, single, 3-run homer, another homer, and then a ground out. Talk about that fifth inning. What did you see? What were your thoughts? Whatever you want to talk about.
Well, it happened really, really fast. Your talk about being at break and then you come back for lunch and you see a complete different story. The game was getting to a point where we thought it was just going to be a routine 6-1, 7-2, 8-3 kind of win. And then all of a sudden, we found out what happened afterwards. And Fromber went rogue. With Fromber, back when we were growing up, when $1 million meant something. We called him $1 million body and a 250 or $1 million talent and a 250 head. And you just wonder what goes on with Fromber sometimes. The last home run in particular, the one to Adele, it was like he threw a BP fastball and Blum I got the feeling Blum was about to say that was just a BP fastball. And he just threw a 92-mile-an-hour fastball right down the middle with a little bit of tail to it. And Adele hit it into right field. And, of course, we didn't know what was going on during the game until afterwards. And the thought that came through my mind on that was, I wonder what Maldi would have done. Can you imagine the production Maldi would have put on to make sure that Fromber got back into line? That just wouldn't have happened with Fromber out there. And I don't put that on Diaz at all. He's a young catcher. Espada was saying he was calling a great game, and he certainly was because they were cruising. It was one scratch run in the first inning, and the Astros were ready. And hopefully Fromber learns from it. And just plays the team game.
So what I read in the post game is that Framber admitted that he did not follow the game plan. They had a game plan for the game, and he went rogue. And that's why he said he went rogue.
Yeah. Yeah, he admitted it. To his credit, to his credit, at least he put his hand up and said, it's on me. Well, when you're trying to come back from a pretty deep deficit against the Mariners, and you're a few games under 500, and you got a chance to keep a momentum going, that's bad time to go rogue. And to make it worse, the Yankees blew a 4 or 5 run lead in the top of in the 8th, where instead of a game we thought we were going to gain a game, we lost a game.
Yeah. So we go from being up 6-1. The top of the 6th, they had another home run, but it wasn't on Framber. We go from being up 6-1 to being down 9-6, and then the bottom of the 9th, Tucker had an RBI single to make it 9-7. If you didn't see the game and you saw the score, you'd be like, "Wow, what a slugfest that game was." But it really wasn't. This is the first 9-7 game that I wouldn't call a slugfest.
No, it really wasn't. And in the bottom of the 9th, you had the tying run on base, and Bregman flew out to center. So they had the chance, even being behind, to come back and tie the game, send it into extra innings. They've had a few games like this where you look at them and say, those are games we should have, that either gave away or threw away or whatever. They should have had them.
Yeah, there's been a lot of them this year. Framber, 5 innings, 10 hits, 8 runs, a walk, 3 strikeouts. He gave up 3 home runs, and that was all in the 5th inning. And you spoke about it happened real fast. Did they have somebody up? I mean, how do you give up all these hits and 3 home runs in 1 inning, and that happens fast?
My recollection of it was early in the count. It was like bam, bam, bam. Next thing you knew, they had 6 runs in. And the thing about it, Rob, is Fromber had 60 some odd pitches going into the 5th inning. He was on a really efficient count. It was, he was just rolling. He was being that guy that we know Fromber has the talent to be. And then all of a sudden it was done. And Miller did come out and give him a visit after, I forgot if it was after the first or the second home run. I think after the second home run.
Yeah.
But by that time the damage was done. And maybe Espada could have taken him out. That's $1 million question. But when a guy is not following the game plan, that's on him.
Yeah. So the pitching coach didn't go out and talk to
he
him?
did. Miller went out.
Yeah, okay.
Miller went out.
For someone that didn't get to see it, it's pretty crazy to see what happened.
Oh, it was nuts.
Montero gave up a home run in the 6th. My boy Magic Man, no runs. Presley, no runs. And Mashinsky, 3 innings, only 1 hit and a strikeout, no runs for the bullpen if you don't count Montero. The bullpen did good. They only gave up 1 run in 4 innings. Dubon, 3 for 4. He drove in 2. Jordan, 2 for 4. Yainer Diaz, 2 for 4. He scored twice and had an RBI. Kyle Tucker, 1 for 3. And he had an RBI single, and he walked twice. The Astros, 7 runs on 10 hits, and they lose. 4 for 10 runners in scoring position. They left 6 on base. Chalk it up as another game that they should have won.
Yep. Now, in Montero's case, the guy hit a home run that was way up in his eyes. The guy took a hit and he made a tomahawk and hit it in the left field. Those things happen.
Yeah. All right, so we'll go to game 2. Christian Javier ran Giffo a 2-run homer in the 1st, and then Tucker had a solo home run, and then Jordan solo home run. I think Kyle Tucker was playing around with the camera, and he turned around, and Jordan got a hit before he was through celebrating. 16th home run for Tucker, 9th for Jordan. That's not the numbers that you expect. You expect Jordan to hit a lot more. Not a lot more, but it should be closer. Top of the 4th, Neto had an RBI double. They take the lead 3-2. Rengifo, RBI single 4-2. But the bottom of the 6th, and we've already spoke about this, that Jose Abreu is coming back soon. What are they going to do with him? John Singleton, 2-run bomb to tie it up. How can you take this dude out of there?
Well, I mean, depends on who you replace him with. You better be sure that Abreu's ready to play.
Yeah.
You know that they've talked about bringing him back straight back up, but also talked about bringing him into AAA. It just seems to make all the sense in the world to put him in AAA to see how he's going to adjust to a AAA pitching. We've said it once, we said it 1,000 times on the show. The Astros now are 4.5 out with Seattle losing to the Yankees today. They've got to play 600 ball to get to 90 wins. The time is not now to experiment with Abreu and see if he's back, unless you know for sure he's back. Because if we get a 5 to 6 game losing streak, it makes it even tougher.
Oh yeah, it almost kill us.
Yep.
So Singleton 5th home run, and Jordan only has 9, and Singleton haven't even been here the whole year. Top of the 7th, we give the lead up on a Pilar home run, but then Kyle Tucker home run number 17 ties it up at 5, and then we go to extra innings, and we were like 1-11 in extra innings, and I think this is our 3rd extra inning win in a row.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think that they said before the 10th that we were 2-4 in extra inning games this year. So that'll make them 3-4.
Yeah, that's crazy. Javier only goes 4 innings, 8 hits and 4 runs, 3 walks, strikeout, and a homer. Scott, who's been money this year, a hit, a walk, and a strikeout, no runs. Abreu gave up a solo home run. Presley gave up nothing. Hader, again, 2 inning outing, 4 strikeouts, picks up his 3rd win. He's 3-3. This guy's picking up a lot of wins late in the year. Kyle Tucker, 2 for 4, 3 runs. He had 2 home runs, 3 RBIs. What a game for Tucker. Jordan, 2 for 4. JP, 2 for 5. Singleton, 1 for 2, and he walked twice. So Singleton gets on base 3 times, hits a 2-run bomb at the biggest moment that we need it. Jake Myers quietly having an amazing season, 2 for 3 with a walk. Chaz gets called up. They send down Cabbage, and he goes 0 for 3 more on Chaz. Astros 6 runs on 10 hits. LA Angels 5 runs on 11 hits. The Astros 2 for 9 runners in scoring position, and they left 8 on base. You got anything else to add about game 2?
Yeah, they came back 3 times. They were behind 3 times and came back. Of course, you mentioned Tucker and Jordan going back to back. We were at most of the game on Tuesday, and that ball that Singleton hit was a monster. And does anybody react to a home run any better than Singleton?
Yep.
And that bat, that ball goes one way, the bat goes the other way, and Singleton just gets into a jog.
Yeah. He pimps it without even really pimping it. But
they said it's just natural.
It's a natural pimp. John Singleton's a natural pimp. So game 3, Hunter Brown. Very low scoring game. Top of the 5th, the Angels had a 2-run bomb, 2-0, and then Dubon drove in a run in the bottom of the 5th. 2-1 Angels. That was the final score. Not a lot of offense. Completely opposite of game 1 and game 2. Hunter Brown, who has been pretty horrible. I think his last outing he did pretty decent. But what can you say about Hunter Brown? 6 innings, 2 hits, and 2 runs, and it was on that 2-run homer. He walked 3 guys and struck out 3. He takes the loss. He's now 1-5 with a 7.06 ERA, but he's just like Spencer Arrighetti. He's slowly bringing his ERA down with every outing.
Stepping it down.
Yeah. Parker Mashinsky, another scoreless inning. Magic Man, another scoreless inning. And Abreu, another scoreless inning. Dubon, 2 for 3. Jordan, 1 for 4. Pena, 1 for 4. Alex Bregman, who had been hot recently, 0 for 4. He's hitting 209. He still can't get his average up any higher than that. Jake, 1 for 3. He's hitting 302, if you want to compare the two. Tucker, 0 for 3, but he's hitting 288. And Caratini, 1 for 3. The Astros, 1 run on 6 hits. 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position. They left all of them on base. So it's a game the Astros could have won. What do you think about game 3? What did you see that the Astros left out on the table that, they could have pulled this game out?
Well, you had Pena, who came literally within an inch of hitting a home run. It hit the yellow line in left field. That would have been a home run. Tyler Anderson for the Angels was just really, really good. There were lots of bad swings. He threw low in the zone. He was throwing off speed. It wasn't throwing hard, but what he did, one of the things he did real well is he changed the eye level on these guys. He would throw low, and then he'd spot a 92-mile-an-hour fastball up high. He was really good. It was just one of those games where a guy has a well-pitched game. The Astros had a lot of really bad swings. Hunter was good. He threw his fastball well. There's a first game that I've seen first start that he's had all year that he really felt like he was in control. If they lose the game, but Hunter Brown gets well and he's set for the rest of the year, we'll take it.
Yeah, we got some pitchers coming back, so they're going to have to figure out who's going to do what. And these guys you got Spencer Arrighetti and Hunter Brown both fighting to keep those jobs that they have.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I think Hunter Brown's pretty good in the bullpen. But next up, we're going to do the Ram Shirts Players of the Series, and then take a look at the standings and then who we have next. And also, we have 5 all-new fair or fouls, and we'll get to all of that right after this. All right, we're back. It is time for the Ram Shirts Players of the Series. Pitcher, I got Hunter Brown.
Yeah, I agree. Who else can it be?
It's kind of weird to easily pick a pitcher who lost a game, but he had no offense.
Well, and when you look at the other two, they took Javier after 4, Framber after 5. Both of those guys were indifferent at best. And Hunter was the one starting pitcher that gave him some length and really on his own kept him in the game.
Yeah, if Hunter Brown wouldn't have did what he did, we'd be scouring the bullpen for a pitcher of the series for sure.
Oh, no doubt.
All right, position player, I have Kyle Tucker.
Yeah, and that's a good one. I've also got someone like that. Except for mine's Jeremy Pena.
All right.
Pena got the big hit in the 10th to win the game. Tucker had 3 hits. 2 of them were home runs. Pena had 4 hits in the series. He had a double, but he also had the big hit to get the big win. We could have won 3 of them, but then again, the way things went, we could have lost 3 of them too without Pena's big hit. Either one of those guys would be good.
All right, Coach Rose, who do you got?
I've got Mashinsky. I've got Parker Mashinsky. Both games he came in and he pitched 2 innings, 24 strikes, 24 pitches, 19 strikes. No hits or 2 hits over the series. He's a guy that when we would bring him in before, you'd say the game is out of reach, and he was just pitching in junk time. He pitched in fairly high leverage situations and kept us in the game. And he's not the guy that you always expect to do that. Yep. It's nice to have that kind of depth that you can shuttle back and forth between Mashinsky and Dubin.
Yeah, like I said, if Hunter Brown wouldn't have done what he did, Parker Mashinsky was on a short list for being the pitcher of the series for me. But my Coach Rose winner is someone that is an amazing baseball player, one of the best baseball players on our team. But from my memory, he has not been doing very well lately. But he went 2 for 4 with a home run and 2 for 4 with another home run. And then in game 3, he went 1 for 4. And I'm talking about Yordan Alvarez.
Mm-hmm.
That's my Coach Rose winner.
Well, he's starting to hit. He hit 417 for the series with a 500 OB on base percentage and an 833 slug, so 1.333 OPS. We keep on waiting for Yordan to be Yordan. And when you look at Yordan's numbers compared to everybody else, say they're pretty good. But we're ready. We're so used to more.
Yeah.
Which is a credit to Yordan.
Do you know, if you look at the starting lineup, who has the second highest OPS?
Probably Myers.
Yeah. Vic Myers. It's like Myers, 800 and something.
Myers only got one hit in the Wednesday game, but he hit the ball hard.
Yep. 302. What a stud. 302 and an 800 OPS.
And to think all the people were ready to throw him in the trash.
Yeah. And Dubon, they always talk about Dubon. He has high average, but his OPS is like 600.
Yeah.
Which means he doesn't get a lot of long balls, right?
Yeah, doesn't get a lot of power, though. He had a good series. He was the one I was thinking about for hitter of the series, because he's 5 for 7 with a double. But like you say, he got a lot of hits, but he didn't have a lot of power.
Oh yeah. All right. So next up is the standing. Seattle 27 and 24. They are 5-5 in their last 10. Texas is 24 and 26. Texas Rangers are now under 500. They are 2-8 in their last 10. The Astros 22 and 28. They have this. I think they're like 2 games behind Texas, I guess. 7-3 in their last 10. The Angels are 20 and 30. They're 5-5. And Oakland 20 and 31. And they are 1-9 in their last 10. So if you look at this, the Astros are the hottest team in the division, and they're playing the coldest team with the Oakland A's, and that is what's coming up next. We got the Oakland A's, 8:40 Friday night. The Astros are off today, so you guys have all day to listen to this. JV against Stripling, who got totally lit up. He's 1-8, 5-1-9. Saturday's 3:07, Spencer Arrighetti against Sears. And then Sunday is Ronel Blanco. He's back. His first game back against Brooks, who is 0-1, 4-15. If you look at this, I think we have the advantage overall. We're a hotter team. We got better pitchers in the series. It's going to be interesting, the Ronel Blanco thing. It's going to be, how's he going to handle this? I mean, how are the umpires? Hopefully they have a discussion about this.
Yeah, I would hope so. I would hope so, and I would hope that Blanco, you would think Blanco, who as contrite as he could be about the whole situation, would take a look at his hand before he goes out every inning. If he's got to watch it, he's got to watch it. I haven't heard anybody say that, that there was any intent. I say they haven't heard anybody. You get the Twitter phobes who want to say anytime the Astros run out of the baseline that they're cheaters.
Yeah. Did you see them? They were checking out the glove of Glasnow from the Dodgers.
They saw there was his hand.
Yeah, and he has black stuff all over his fingertips. And
what's
up with that?
It was on his thumb.
Yeah,
and so and he had it all over his hand. But he's from Los Angeles. He's from Boston. He's from New York. It's a different set of rules.
Yeah, it's like Ronel Blanco was like, "Here, look at my hands," because I think there was just stuff on his wrist or something, but there was nothing on his fingers.
Yeah,
it's a different set of rules, it seems like, but no conspiracy theory.
One thing about the series that's interesting, we're going to see the same pitchers we saw last weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
So we should have a pretty good read on them.
Yeah. I think JV had a bad game last time too, right?
Well, he didn't have a terrible game, but he had that 13 pitch at bat against against William Contreras, and that's the one where he said, "Hey, I threw everything I wanted to," and the guy he won.
Well, for a JV outing, it's not that great. But my point is, he never has 2 outings like that. Usually, if something happens like that, he comes back and shuts them down. It's like, that's what I'm saying. I expect a win there. Arrighetti's been pitching amazing, so that's the up in the air game. But I mean, JV and Blanco, all we need is Spencer Arrighetti to. But the game's early on Saturday, 3:07.
Yeah, well, they say it's Fromber going on Saturday. That's what ESPN has. Is that different than what you have?
Yeah, I have MLB Network.
Okay.
Fromber just pitched.
He pitched Monday. Anyway, I hope, who knows? Maybe they
that's what I have on mine on MLB.com. It says Arrighetti.
Maybe they put Fromber in timeout, and he's got to serve some time.
Well, who knows? Who knows? All right. I could be wrong, but that's what it says where I get all my info. It is time for Fair or Foul. We had a Would You Rather that was all about baseball. The last episode was Would You Rather with nothing about baseball. And the guy on the show was Ryan. I said, this wasn't really, geared for you, but we had a good show. We had fun, Ryan and
Yeah,
myself.
you had one of those fair or fouls is like, would you like to know when or how you're going to die? And I'm thinking, oh my stars, that's horrible.
Yeah, that's a tough thought right there. But these are all baseball, Wally. So let's get down to it. I saw a video. It was MLB Now, the one that I think Mad Dog is on there. And there's two guys arguing back and forth. They don't agree. So let's see if we agree. The fair or foul, the Astros will make the postseason.
Fair. I think the Astros are straightening it out. When you're this far out, the Astros can't think about August. They've got to think about the last week of May, the first week of June.
Yeah.
They've got to win. They've got to really concentrate on winning these series. You win series, you win each game. You're going to lose some like we had on Wednesday. That was just baseball. But concentrate on winning the series, and the playoffs will take care of themselves.
I say fair too. Like I said, they're the hottest team in the division. They had a slow start and a tough schedule, but now it's like a regular schedule. They play a good team, they play a couple bad teams. Uh, so we both agree. Fair or foul? Kyle Tucker has a legitimate shot at being MVP this year.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's very fair.
Yeah.
Juan Soto's been, on another planet for the early part of the season, but he's got to slow down. Of course, you could say the same thing about Tucker.
Yeah.
If it's close, it's going to be to Soto, just because you've got that Eastern media and they're gonna give him the pub. But who would you rather have anybody else on your team than Tucker right now?
No, I wouldn't mind having Tucker and Soto. So Tucker, what I'm getting is he leads the Major League Baseball in home runs. He leads Major League Baseball, and it feels like I wrote this down wrong, but he leads Major League Baseball in walks. Is what I read.
I didn't know that.
That doesn't seem real, but that's what I see. And he leads Major League Baseball in OPS.
Yeah, if Tucker was up to bat, I'd be glad to walk him rather than watch him walk around the bases.
Yeah. All right, number 3. So I say fair too. He's a very legit contender. Number 3 is also about Kyle Tucker. Every time we get a superstar, he's gone unless they get him when they're young, like they did Bregman or when they got Yordan. But Kyle Tucker is probably the best player on the team. 2 years in a row, All-Star. 2 years in a row, second team All MLB. The guy's a stud, and I'd hate to see him play anywhere else. So fair or foul, Kyle Tucker is going to break the mold of the Astros not signing people for 10 years, long-term contracts.
Well, I'm going to say that his fair to the extent that he's going to get an offer over 6 years. Now, whether he takes it or not is a different story. I think they're going to throw the bank at him as much as they will. He's at the age that he'll go into his free agency in his age 29 year. So if you give him 8 years and call him 40, 42, 43 a year, maybe up the AAV for him, then he'll get the offer. Now, does Crane want to go that 10 years to get him to 39?
Ooh, yeah. I didn't know he was that old.
Yeah, I read that today. Maybe I'm off a year, but still
39 years at the end of the contract. That might not be good.
Yeah, and Jim Bowden has made this comment any number of times about guys like Aaron Judge, Bryce Harper. Although Harper is playing first base, so it won't be quite as much now. Mike Trout for the 3 contracts he brought up, and he's very direct on telling the fan base and says, guys, they sign these deals. You got to be ready. The last 2 to 3 years, this contract's going to be bad. you're paying
Oh,
him
yeah.
all this money for the first 6, 7, 8 years of
Yep.
of the deal.
Yeah, if you want your team to go out and sign these guys so you can have them the rest of their career, don't be crying when they're playing like Jose Abreu. That's all I got to say.
Well, look at Cabrera was last year.
Oh, yeah.
Miggy was a dog with fleas.
Yeah. But he was still loved, I guess. So,
Yeah,
all right,
and
number
they
4.
weren't any good.
Number 4. Because Chaz came back. So this one's about Chaz. The Astros they sent Cabbage back. They still have Jake Myers, Jordan, Kyle Tucker. If the Astros trade, and then you have Joey Loperfido, who I hope never goes anywhere, but it looks like his playing time, I don't think he played at all, did he?
No, I was pinch ran in one game.
All right, so if the Astros trade an outfielder, fair or foul, if the Astros do trade one of these many, many outfielders they have, it should, not would be or will be, it should be Chaz.
That's fair. Unfortunately, I think we've seen the best of Chaz. He's a great story. A guy who was never a prospect but kept on persevering,
Yep.
made himself into a great player, made probably the greatest, most important catch in the Astros history when he went up and robbed Real Muto that double, maybe a triple in Game 5 of the 2022 World Series.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of get the feeling even before Chaz went on the IL, that the league had kind of figured him out. Ryan's done some great work and looking at Chaz and saying that he's the kind of guy that needs to be spotted. Play him for a while, let him sit. Find him a good platoon situation, and that's where he ought to be. What Chaz can get, hopefully Chaz could get you as an infielder.
Yeah.
People talk about the Astros being a player short when Blanco's been out, but really they've been 2 players short all year because Kessinger has not hardly ever plays.
I didn't even know he's on the team.
Yeah, he never. He goes in he goes in when you're up 10 or down 10.
Yeah.
If you're going to have a guy on the bench, use him. If you're not going to use him, send him down or find somebody who's going to come up and help you out. But you've really been playing a position player short. So if you can take Chaz, turn him into a functional Dubon Part B, to where he can play infield and outfield, but you're going to play him. You can get some of these older guys off their feet.
Yeah. Well, the thing about it, though, you have to put Jordan in left field.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you have to DH Pena. You have the DH Altuve or Bregman. That's how it's always been.
Right.
We've had so many, like when we had LaPena, like we were stacked in the infield, and no one was ever going to play unless these guys got a day off. So I think that's kind of the way it is. I think if Singleton wasn't doing that great, maybe he would get some more reps at first. But I don't know. But the thing about Chaz, and I'm not saying anything bad about him, but it's just we got Kyle Tucker, Jordan, and Jake Myers has been amazing. And then you got Loperfido, which you can't, if you have all of these guys, Loperfido's not going to play very much, and he might as well just go back to AAA and get some more reps if you're not going to use them. And Chaz is good. I don't have anything negative to say about him. He's just the odd man out. I don't think it's a negative thing, but I say fair. I think it should be Chaz.
Well, here's another point too about getting an infielder. Bregman was hot a week or two ago. He was 0 for 13 in this series. We thought Bregman was going to be on the ascent. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. Yeah. But usually it's June before he gets hot. And you could get a chance when Bregman's not doing so hot and he may be pressing. You could put somebody in at third and give Bregman a blow.
Oh, yeah. I thought Kessinger plays third.
He could. I'm surprised. Yeah. I'm surprised Espada has not played himself.
Sometimes no matter how bad a person is playing, it's like, hey, you're playing bad, but you're Alex Bregman. I'm not taking you out. Yeah. You're Alex Bregman. Plus, he's an awesome third baseman.
He is an awesome third
It's
baseman.
not like he's Jose Abreu, can't play first and he can't hit. I mean, he's an awesome
Yeah.
infielder. Awesome. All right, the last one, I saw this today. I don't know if you saw this, but the World Baseball Classic, I don't know when it comes around again, maybe like 2 years
20,
from now, because I think
26.
it was last year, right, that they had it?
Yeah, it's 26. No, yeah, I
Yeah,
think it's going to come around
23,
26.
24, 25, 26. I don't know. But it's gonna be here again. So fair or foul, you will try to attend a game when they play World Baseball Classic in Minute Maid Park.
Yeah, I might try to do that. That's 3 years off, and so we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get to 26 first.
Yeah.
We'll talk about going to the game. But yeah, no, it'd be fun to go see the game. I'm not a huge fan of the timing of it. I don't think there is a
Yeah.
good timing of it. People have talked about doing it mid-season, but that would be an absolute disaster.
I think it's a bad thing. There was a lot of people that played in the WBC were injured. We
Yep.
got Altuve. We
Yes.
lost Altuve for a long time last season. Framber Valdez was out of gas. I mean, I don't know. That's how I feel. It didn't benefit any of them to play in it, even though I think all of these guys, especially the non-Americans, they're definitely going to want to go play and represent their country.
Yeah, Edwin Diaz tore his patellar tendon just jumping up and down and celebrating, and nothing like he was jerking around. But those are two pretty serious injuries. And to your point, not just Framber, all the pitchers that it seems like they play in the WBC, they're gassed the rest of the year. Presley wasn't great last year, and he played in the WBC, and I'm not convinced that didn't have something to do with it.
Yeah. All right, buddy, that's it. Do you have any final thoughts?
Now they've got Oakland, and then they go to Seattle.
Ooh.
Let's hope they concentrate on Oakland, win 2 or 3, 3 of 3. They've got a 3-gamer against Seattle. You really want to go, if you can go 4-2 this road trip, you really set yourself up. But take care of Oakland first.
Who's Seattle playing right now?
They just got lost to the Yankees today.
All right, so we're Yankee fans.
Big Yankee fans. They split that series. The Yankees, again, we talked about baseball. The Yankees blew a 4 or 5 run lead
who does Seattle play after that?
Playing the Nats.
Dang. The Nationals aren't that bad, but we'll be
they have George Kirby going against Mackenzie Gore. They were right at 500, and they've gone on a bit of a slide. But Kirby and Mackenzie Gore, which would be a fun game to watch. Kirby has not been quite as good as he's been. He got lit up by the Yankees the other night. The Yankees.
I mean, even if Seattle goes 2-1 against the Nats, if the Nationals can at least win one, I think we're going to sweep Oakland. But I mean, that's tough. That's 7 wins in a row against a team. But I think they can. I think they can sweep them, and then they'll pick up a game on them. And you just pick up a game here and there, and that's all you got to do. And you go head to head, and you beat them 2-1. You pick up another one.
Pick up a game a week.
Yeah, pick it up.
That's the thing we talked about. You pick, over time, you pick up a game a week, because that's kind of where it's going to be. You get a team that goes, in a 2-week period, somebody goes 7-6, and you go 8-5.
Yep. All right, guys, that's all we have. Next up for the Astros, the Oakland A's. So I don't know. Keep your head up. You can't look at it that we lost these games. We should have won. A 7-3 homestand, folks. A 7-3 homestand. That's my final thought. Remember that. Remember that. All right, for Wally, I am one of your hosts, Rob Bontano, and we'll see you next time on Astros Baseball.